Hello friends, this is your friend and host CA Girish Sasdeva. I am going to discuss a complex subject today. After pursuing professional exams for a long time, let's say CA, we tend to think whether we should quit or we should keep continuing because failures make us weak, and it becomes very important decision for us to decide whether we should quit or we should continue. So let's understand this situation first. Repetitive failures make it very tough for us to quit because we understand that if we will quit, all of our achievements till now will not be able to, maybe not be able to carry them forward. We may spoil all of our achievements till now. And failing again and again creates a lot of negative emotions. And the truth is that we face a lot of pressures, not only from family who are expecting us to deliver, who have a lot of expectations from us, and also there are a lot of comparisons with a lot of our friends, lot of our peer group, not only by our family but by our friends as well. We also start thinking about our comparison with others. We all have our own separate journeys, but still we keep comparing, right? Also, it makes it more difficult because we have some emotional urge inside which keeps us pushing that you should not accept the failures. We have been programmed to not to accept failures because we have been uh, programmed in such a manner by the surroundings that you should not accept failure. You are not a loser. Even if you are not able to make it, you should not accept it. That's why it becomes more and more tougher to not to accept the failures, and we never think that we should quit or not. So let's discuss how should we decide whether we should quit or not. Okay, most important thing we should keep in mind is that the approach we should take in keeping this kind of important decision is that rational should prevail. We should not take this kind of decision on emotional grounds. Rather than we should be very logical in our approach. Our rational should be unbiased and it should be given more weightage. This is a career decision and the choices should be based on rational. It should not be based on some gut feeling or on some emotional baggage we might be carrying. The truth is that the emotional conditioning by the pressure around makes us biased, that we don't think logically, we don't think rationally, we keep thinking in the same manner, which is without emotions, right? So the thing is that the decision making is always better done with logical frame of mind backed with facts. So if you are taking right decision which is backed with the realities of life, realities, the facts, then decision making is going to be better. Quitting is a key decision of career. You can't afford any mistake in that. You should not take this kind of big decisions based on some biased thinking. It is imperative that you take this kind of big decisions based on the facts, based on the rationals. Now let's discuss about the solution. The solution is the decision making process. How you should decide, what is the process you should follow, what is the approach you should follow. There are certain steps we need to follow based on the logic, based on the rational, and based on facts. So the step one is collect the facts objectively. You have to collect certain facts about your past performance first. Prepare the list of all the exams at the subject level. Also compile your corresponding past performance at subject level. How much marks you obtained for a particular subject, when did you appear, how many times. All the facts should be crystal clear, very logically put in a piece of paper so that you are able to look at it objectively. Also, put a clear understanding of the corresponding past efforts you have done to obtain those marks. And please be very, very objective. You should not be biased when you compile all this information, because these are the facts and you should not manipulate the facts. If you have spent certain number of man days in terms of efforts for a particular subject, you should put it very clearly. For example, if you have spent 10 days efforts of study for a particular subject, you should put it 10 days. If you have put 8 days, put it 8 days. Don't manipulate. Whatever was the fact, put it very clearly. Similarly, have another column where you put the quality of uh, training or any classes or any important key thing you should know, you should keep in mind when you look at those facts. So compile all your facts very clearly. That is the step number one, right? Step number two is analyze those facts and identify area of failure. These facts are the truth and they don't lie, right? If you have put them without any biasness, you will be able to identify the area of failures very clearly, very easily. Depending upon your subject, you will be able to decide whether what are the subjects where you are failing continuously, where you are struggling. So you have to further classify it into two sections. One is those subjects or those topics where you struggle all the time, where you are failing regularly. Let's say you are obtaining minimum marks in text all the time. So that is your regular failure. You may also have a list where normally you do well, but in certain examples you have not done well. For example, let's say in audit, you normally get good marks, only in one or two attempts you didn't get that many marks, right? So have a clear segregation of those subjects, or maybe at topic level, that what are the subjects or topics where you are not performing well, where you are failing again and again, and where you are not failing again and again, but you are failing sometimes. So you have a clear identification of those areas where you should be knowing that these are the facts. Based on those facts, these are the areas, right? Most important step is know the benchmark. Now cross that list of your facts, put the benchmark. So gather facts from at least 5 individuals who have passed the exam recently. Talk to them. Get the information that for those subjects or those topics, how many man days of efforts they had put in, what were their study approach, what was the training or classes they attended. So have collect those facts from at least 5 individuals. Prepare a benchmark based on facts. Let's say, for this is just an example, right? The facts may be different. For example, for a particular subject, let's say audit, you found that all of those 5 individuals have given at least 15 days of man days of efforts. So you mention it very clearly that the benchmark is 15 days, 15 man days, right? Whether they attended particular classes for it or not, if most of them attended, you may mention that as well. And here you have to be objective again. You should take an average, or you should go for the highest or the maximum number of man days everyone has put in, right? Or you may take an average as well. Basis this benchmark, you will be able to understand that what was your performance, what was your efforts, and what is working well, what others did well and what you didn't do. You will be able to clearly identify those gaps very clearly. For example, we just mentioned, let's say in audit, you found that benchmark is 10 man days of effort, and you know that you have not given those many man days, you have just try to prepare the subject in 5 days, right? So you would know that everyone is spending 10 days and I have just spent 5 days. So there's something wrong, right? So you would be able to identify those areas very clearly, not only from your own experience, but also with the help of comparison with the benchmark. Benchmark, which is based on the facts, and facts for those individuals who have recently passed, right? The next step is, once you have all this information readily available with you, discuss all these areas of failures, your comparison with the benchmark with at least 5 seniors of your profession. The suggestion is that those seniors should be unbiased. When I say unbiased, I meant that they should not be carrying any emotional blockage in terms of your success. But because if someone is going to give you an advice based on the facts, he or she must be giving it professionally without any emotional kind of part coming into the play, that whether they want you to see succeeding or not. Let's get the professional advice without any biasness. And my suggestion is that most of them should be who have worked with you, because they would have some sense of your capability as well. Not only they would analyze the facts, they would help you discuss, they will help you guide, they will also have some understanding about your capabilities, that what you may be able to do, what where do you struggle, they would have some sense for that as well. The next step is sum up the feedback and facts. So based on your data, based on the benchmark, based on the inputs you have received from your seniors, mention those feedbacks very clearly in your sheet against each and every subject, right? Now, how should we take the decision to quit? These are the indicators where you should decide to quit. Let's say you found that the regular areas of failures are too many. It's not one area, there are so many areas where you are failing again and again. So, this is a very great indication that probably you are not going to work in the right direction, and this is a very good example where you should decide to quit. The other indicator is that the fact confirm, and I'm again insisting that it should be based on facts, that you have already given your best in terms of efforts. Let's say benchmark says that you have to give 10 man days, and you have already given more than 10 days, and even then you failed. So that means that you have already given the best in terms of efforts as well. And it is not about the quantity, it's about the quality as well. When we say man days, it should be a quality study. It should not be just for the sake of spending time, right? Also, the other gray area where the summary of all the feedback is giving some concerns about technical skills, that you are getting feedback from your seniors, the senior professionals, that there is some lacking in terms of your technical skills. If these are the outcome of your analysis, you should decide to quit, or maybe you should limit your attempts, that you should decide that okay, this is the reality, and I will only give X number of attempts. If I am able to succeed, fine. Otherwise, I will call it a. I will take my call and I will move on. I will do something else. So you will have a clear understanding based on facts that yes, this is the right decision. I should quit. Okay. Now let's say how you should decide whether you should continue. In the similar manner, if you found that the regular areas of failures are not too many, you are struggling only in few areas, it's not that you are struggling anywhere, everywhere, right? Also, the facts confirm that you have not given required efforts. There was some gap in terms of efforts, in terms of quality and quantity both, versus the benchmark. Let's say the benchmark says that you have to put in at least 10 days of man days of efforts, and you have not given 10 man days, you have just given 5 man days. So how can you expect you to be attain that level if you are not giving enough efforts, right? For that sake, just we can just understand from a common and general perspective as well, that if you try to give this attempt with just, let's say, 5 days of study only, and then you are expecting to pass, then you are wrong, right? Similarly, the feedback summary from the seniors is also suggesting that there was some lack of efforts or focus of improvement you need to do in terms of certain training or classes. And also seniors shown very confidence about your technical skills. There was no doubt that you are technically sound. It's just that you are not able to, probably you are not able to make required efforts. That's why you were not able to make it. If these are the indicators, then you should decide to continue. Now let's say you decide to continue. In that case, prepare a clear roadmap that how you are going to attempt it next time and execute. Please keep in mind the feedback you have and the facts you have is a very good analysis which will help you to have a clear roadmap, and it should be in the light of the benchmark. If you are facing other issues in terms of environment, in terms of other pressures, please resolve those issues, involve your family, let them know that these are the issues you are facing, and so solve all those issues, right? Prepare a very clear study plan, and it should be at least better than the benchmark. If benchmark says that you have to put in this many effort, your plan should be much better than benchmark. Execute the plan, and you will have a much better chance to make it. And this is a logical approach that how you should decide that what you should do. Please keep your emotional backlogs separate and make your decisions based on the rationals, right? If you still have any doubts in this regard, you may post any query in the YouTube channel, and you may also write to me over my email ID. I hope this would help you, and I would soon come back with another subject. Thank you so much.